Hello everyone, and welcome back to the AZ-900 Azure Fundamentals Masterclass by FITTSGH. So far in this course, we've explored what cloud computing is, the different cloud models, and how Microsoft Azure works practically through the Azure portal. But in today's lesson, we're going to answer a very important question. Why are organizations actually moving to the cloud? Why are companies around the world investing billions into cloud technologies like Microsoft Azure? What makes cloud computing so powerful compared to traditional on-premises environment? In this lesson, we will explore some of the biggest benefits of cloud computing, including scalability, elasticity, high availability, reliability, predictability, security, governance, and manageability. And don't worry if some of these terms sound technical right now. As always, we will break everything down step by step using very simple explanations, real-world fit scenarios, practical examples, and Microsoft-style AZ-900 questions to reinforce understanding. By the end of this lesson, you will begin to understand why cloud computing has transformed the modern IT industry and why these concepts are heavily tested in the AZ-900 certification exam. So let's get started with lesson 4, and that is benefit of cloud computing. We're going to proceed to look at the benefits of cloud computing. So the first question I want us to delve into is why are organizations moving to the cloud? Why cloud computing? So when you think about it for a moment, organizations basically want flexibility. They don't want to be tied to one physical location, have the ability to work anywhere in this world. And if it's in the cloud and it's being hosted by a service provider like Azure, you can guarantee that it is reliable. Then the cost implications of having not to manage those physical resources is comparatively better when you just lease those responsibilities to the cloud service providers. And we talk about scalability and global access. So as we go through this lesson, I'll take my time to explain these terminologies, okay? So what then is scalability? So if you're scaling as a company, maybe you want to move from point A to point B. So we say that scalability is the ability to increase or decrease resources based on demand. So if people are demanding more as a company, then I'll need to think and plan ahead. Okay, we will need another site, another site, another site. So it's the same thing when it comes to cloud computing, okay? Then also have types. So we can scale up, then we can scale out. So I'm going to use this simple illustration for you to get it, okay? So it is based on demand. So if I'm currently using a virtual machine that is running on two, central processing units with 8 GB of RAM, and it demands that the application needs more power, need more processing power and memory, then I can scale up by increasing the amount of central processing and the amount of RAM. So that is scaling up, which is vertical, up, down, up. Then we have the horizontal scaling where we have that same instance. So if it is two CPUs, 8 GB of RAM, then we just replicate that. We scale out. So if the load is too much, we scale out. So when your application has variable traffic, high availability and fault tolerance, automatically add or remove instances with what? Auto scaling. So that is what? Scalability. You plan ahead, then you get it done, okay? And we move on to maybe an example like during certification boot camps, okay? We have more learners joining, which means more traffic, which means more cloud resources needed. Then you can also think about Black Friday sales, where we have lots of people visiting a particular website. So maybe there's one, website, one instance with low resource usage can accommodate about 1,000 users. But in a situation where the traffic increases, now we scale up to 2 instances to accommodate it, so that at least we still have our services running. If there is high demand, we scale again. That is horizontal scaling. And once the traffic drops, we come down to just one instance. So we use Microsoft Azure. The application scales automatically to handle the increased traffic and delivers a smooth work experience for customers. So when traffic drops, resources are scaled down to save cost. Okay, so that automatic, we will talk about it. Okay. And that is what we term as elasticity. So automatic adjustment of resources based on demand. So if it demands that we increase, the system will automatically increase it. If we don't need it, the system will reduces it. So automatic scaling. So just as I explained under scalability, elasticity, that is how it works. So Azure will automatically remove extra resources if it's not needed. Okay, so they will just run with the minimum resources to save cost, and it will detect the increase in demand, then automatically scale up. Okay, so your application stays fast, available, and reliable. So the key benefit of elasticity here is automatic scaling, high availability, better performance, and cost optimization, where you pay only for what you use. Okay, so elasticity is the right resources, right time, and right cost. It's as simple as that. Okay, so you just need to understand the terminologies, the concepts. So you need to build a conceptual understanding. So what are the differences here? So scalability is manual, or it's something you plan. Elasticity is automatic. So the system will do it for you. Scalability handles growth. So mind you, we have vertical and horizontal scaling. And elasticity handles changing demand. Then scalability is about adding resources. Elasticity will automatically adjust the resources. So that's about it. Then we have another terminology that you need to understand, which is high availability, where systems remain operational with minimal downtime. So the Azure uses multiple data centers, redundancy, and backup systems. So we talked about the various regions and the availability zones. Okay, so with a high availability, where systems are designed and operated to minimize downtime. So we've got users, we have a load balancer, which will distribute the traffic across the various availability zones. So if something happens and one of these zones are down, at least they are connected to one, redundant database where they can pull your website pages from. So always your systems are running. So if a failure occurs, one VM goes down, traffic is automatically rerouted to healthy VMs, which is the job of the load balancer, trying to distribute it so that it will keep your services running. So you're always up there. So just like a banking institution, it runs 24/7. So if you want to keep the trust of people, you need to make sure that your website is always up, because it's about money. And once it keeps going down, people will start to lose trust. So that's for high availability. Then we have an example online banking system. So customers expect 24/7 access, downtime affects trust, financial systems must remain online. So it is as simple as that. So just like you shopping online, we have so many people getting in there, thousands of people. We want to make sure it is always up there. So we have the web instance. Then we have the load balancer distributing the traffic, so that at least people get that optimized performance. So that's just about it for high availability. Then let's look at reliability and predictability. So if something is reliable, then we have consistent performance, okay, and fault tolerance, and that is what Azure offers. And predictability has to do with the cost implication. So we've got a stable performance and better cost forecasting. So it will not come as a surprise that, oh, you spent X amount of dollars or X amount of cedis or pounds for using a particular Azure resource. You can predict it based on your usage. So it's as simple as that. Okay. So we have reliability, making sure that everything run consistently, even when failure occurs. Okay. So Azure is designed to minimize distractions and automatically recover from issues. So you have the redundancy, fault tolerance, high durability, and disaster recovery. So that's reliability and predictability, forecast performance and cost. So you can make better decisions, plan budgets, and optimize resources. So that is that about reliability and predictability. Okay. Then we have security and governance in place to make sure that the resources up there in the cloud are protected. So you don't need to do this on your own and you don't need to start from the scratch. So they got built-in system that protect the identity of people using it, detecting threats and fighting it. Then compliance tools, they got templates you can read from and access control. So you can use this to manage your Azure platform. So we are all there. They want to get a chance, we'll do it practically for you to see. But you just need to build those conceptual understanding. Okay, good. Then we have management tools like cost management, Azure Monitor, Azure Advisor, and Service Health, on which we will explore when we get the chance in our next lesson. Okay. So manageability, portal, monitor, advisor, then we have automation tools, which is absolutely fine. So let's quickly look at some of the exam practice questions based on what we've discussed so far. Okay. So FITTS as an organization plans to deploy its learning platform across multiple Azure regions worldwide. So which cloud computing benefit does this mostly support? So elasticity, scalability, high availability, and governance. So we want the learning platform across multiple Azure regions. So which of the concepts are we trying to achieve here? Is it governance, high availability, scalability, elasticity? Pause it, think about it, and check the answer. And that is what high availability. And there's a reason why we're saying high availability, because we have multiple regions improve what uptime. So depending on wherever you find yourself on this globe or on this planet, and you should have access to our online learning platform within the shortest possible time. Okay, and it reduces service interaction or reduces what downtime, what risks, and it supports redundancy. Okay, then let's look at the next practice exam question 2. FITTS notices learner traffic automatically increases cloud resource usage during evening revision sessions. Which cloud computing feature is being demonstrated? So this is an automatic adjustment. Let's see if you got it. So is it availability, elasticity, governance, virtualization? Yes, it is what? Elasticity. And why? Resources adjust automatically. So please don't confuse the two, elasticity and scalability. Scalability is planned. Elasticity automatically adjusts. Okay, so it matches changing demand and it helps optimize cost. Then we've got another practice test question. FITTS wants to pay only for cloud resources used during active training sessions. Which cloud pricing concept supports this? So is it high availability, consumption-based model, governance, and compliance? So we only want to pay for what we use. So that's obviously consumption-based model. Okay, so what have we learned today? We've looked at scalability, and I believe you've understood that concept. We've also looked at elasticity, high availability, reliability, predictability, security, and manageability. So we're building our cloud skills one lesson at a time. Okay, and thank you so much for watching. I want you to keep learning, keep growing. Your Azure journey start here, and the best is yet to come. You can grab your practice test and exam retake from bit.ly/mcf fit. If you've not liked, commented, shared, and subscribed, kindly do so. And I will see you in my next lesson. God bless. Stay blessed. Bye bye for now.